I suppose I'll start by saying that other than paddling, I'm not a particularly sporty person. I think that's reflected through my education. I went down the line of design, technology and following things that I really enjoyed, and that's kind of all I've really done. I've just followed things that I really enjoy doing and that I'm pretty good at. As well as that, I'm a father now, so that takes up a lot of my time and that gives me extra responsibilities. I just have general hobbies in producing products and design work as well. I do a bit of graphic design work for Nello on their kayaks, sprint kayaks for different teams, different people, which keeps me entertained when I'm not in the boat. It takes the focus away from full-time training really. When you're in the boat 24/7 pretty much, you want to be able to step away and not have to think about sport or anything related to it, and so that's how I've tackled it. I can switch off and think about producing a piece of artwork or design work or learn about a new technology, and it's completely separate from my paddling career, so it helps me switch my brain off essentially to help it recover. I studied graphic design, product design at GCSE and A-level, and then went on to university at Loughborough in product design and graduated with a degree in that, and it's just something I've been able to do, so and I find quite interesting. Yeah, I think I mentioned before, it's something that you can switch off and help aid your recovery in between sessions and also at competitions. I've always found that at competitions the worst part of it is waiting around. You kind of almost feel like a duck out of water, so to speak, when you're not sat in your boat, because that's where you spend the majority of your time, and that's where I particularly feel the strongest, and the nerves almost go away when you're sat in the boat and you can feel kind of how you're going to perform, whereas if you're on the bank you're just twiddling your thumbs trying to kill time. So having those other interests, I watch a lot of movies as well. It just preoccupies you, so you're not constantly thinking about the performance ahead of you and all the things that could go wrong or could go right. So yeah, I find those kind of distractions incredibly important. The UK Sport Personal Development Awards are a great opportunity for athletes on the programme to extend their skills, I suppose, outside of sport, and I'd really recommend them taking advantage of that. I mean, it's not every day you have someone give you money to go do something you enjoy, or to develop you as a person. So yeah, take full advantage of it. So this year I'm using it for a carpentry course in September to help develop my skills, which will probably be put to work at home, putting up pictures, door frames, etc., bits and pieces like that. It's been very challenging to start with. I have a massive amount of support from my wife and my family, extended family, so grandparents especially, and like I say, it's been challenging to get the balance right, because you have these commitments to your family and your kids, or kid in my case, and you also have that commitment to training, and you know how much it takes to get to where you want to go. And it's all about the support network around you and balancing that very carefully. Try to update my say skills in software, particularly because that's forever changing, and I continuously attempt to learn programming, but my use of numbers and text isn't the best, so I do struggle with that, although I find it incredibly interesting. That's probably down to my dyslexia, which I've had or diagnosed very early on in my life, and I've carried throughout school as well with help and stuff, which it's just kind of, I guess, holds me back a little bit in some areas, but I excel at others. So I stuck to things that I enjoyed and loved doing and found interesting, even though I wasn't particularly good at them. So an example of that would be, I loved art and design, product design, which I did for A-levels, and also did physics, which I am really interested in, absolutely love learning about, but I'm useless with numbers. So my grades for that were 2 A's and a D. And you can imagine which one the D was in, but it didn't matter to me because I was interested. So probably I'd say stick to what you love doing, because if you love doing it, it's not a chore, it's not a demand of your time if you're willing to give your time to that subject. Yeah, no, I find that very rewarding. You know, I've had this amazing career and it'd be great for people to follow in my footsteps. I'm always open for people to question me and come and train with me as well. You know, I've got a couple of the junior lads training with me quite regularly over at Dorney, and they're picking up some good bits and pieces and tips and how to train and conduct themselves properly. Yeah, as I say, I find it very rewarding. I try to get out to as many club events as I can. It gets a little bit more difficult when you're in season, you're training 24/7, not just because of the time you're committing to the training, but also your fatigue that you feel, so you're constantly tired. And on top of that, being a new parent as well, it means you have even more restriction on your time. But I'm always welcome for people to approach and send requests through and to see how it can work, particularly on off seasons. It's always a daunting thought for an athlete to think what they're going to be doing after they finish their career as an athlete in high performance. So, you know, planning for that and having someone support you is incredibly important in your mentality going into a competition. So, you know, to have something going on behind the scenes as well as pushing yourself towards the games is you know, incredible. Family are incredibly important. What I'm doing now and where I'm pushing myself towards Tokyo 2020 couldn't be done without their support. You know, it's a team, we're a little team basically, and it's a team effort enabling me to try and achieve this third Olympics.